Honk.
What is up, Cobra Kai fans? Welcome back to another stream. First of all, a lot of people I did say I put an announcement up for an interview. It's been postponed. I'll let you know what happens with that. We'll try and get that on the ball ASAP. So instead, I thought, why not do and ask me anything? I actually haven't done one of these before, and I know generally people wanted to ask me stuff because I get so many comments on the daily where people are asking me specifically what things about season 4, anything for the future, my channel, and I generally haven't really had a chance to speak to you guys directly one-to-one. With all these interviews, I've just literally spoken to you through questions. But honestly, I think this is a good time to talk to you guys about that in general. And hey guys, Mark, Cobra Kai Studios, good to see you. Soham, Raphael, Cactus, Mark, Cherry Plays, CK Scenes, Miguel Diaz, ironically, Javien, Basil. What's up, everybody? So yeah, any questions you guys have got? I mean, that's why it's called an AMA. Absolutely anything. So we'll just get straight into it. Okay, first question is hello. All right, cool. What other shows do you watch? Okay, funny. It's actually funny you said about Teen Wolf, Amy. So basically, other than Cobra Kai, or before I really watched Cobra Kai, I watched things like Stranger Things. Teen Wolf is. I'm a big fan of Teen Wolf. I would like to see another season because they really ended it on an open note, which is like it could come back. And I think the intention was to always leave that out there. I was a big fan. I mean, I like the new Transformers animated Cybertron Netflix series. I don't know if anyone's watched that. That's great. Big fan of Community. Absolutely love that show. Arrested Development's another good one. I don't know if you guys are fans of Community. It's great. Yeah, pretty much a lot of Netflix shows. I've watched some. I like this show called Mrs. Brown's Boys. It's a comedy. I'm a big MCU fan, so I tend to watch a lot of MCU movies, although it's been a while. Lucifer's really good. Yeah, it is. Lupin, Lupin's something I've been after. I've got on my list. I've been rewatching Cobra Kai again recently. Again, just really trying to take in everything because you have to watch a show so many times if you really understand certain things, or want to understand certain things. Mark Bryan. Okay, wait. Sorry, we had a question before that. So Cherry Plays asks, "Hey, who's your favorite character?" My favorite character is Miguel Diaz. Miguel is the one and only. He's literally the Karate Kid of Cobra Kai series. That's why I love him, and I think he's just so likable. He's so honest, real. Really does remind me like Captain America in a way, in the sense that he's always trying to do the right thing, and I like that about him. He's very true to himself. What do you think about season 4? Well, there's not a lot to think at the moment, although I feel like this could easily pull on season 3. Although season 3 is the best season yet, season 4 is just going to get more and more crazy. Terry Silver finally coming in, maybe Mike Barnes, might even see Jessica from Karate Kid 3. We're going to get a lot more crazy things going on. And this team up is only the beginning. So I can't wait to see how Daniel and Johnny go about it, you know? Oh, this is a good question. How to pronounce your name? It's so okay. I don't know if a lot of people actually know my real name. You can call me Sham, but Shamoon is my name. So if you've ever felt like you couldn't say my name right, there you go, Shamoon. I'm only on 3rd episode of Lupin. Do you think Daniel is a good sensei? I think he is because he's trying to teach his students the right thing. But then, if you think about it, look how things turned out for his students. Like, look at Robbie. It sounds like I'm roasting Robbie, but I'm not. Like he's kind of got in a bad place, but at the same time, I feel like that's all the anger he's had and everything. Who was your interview with that's been postponed? So the man that played Cruz, Jeff Kaplan. I was going to interview him tonight, and it doesn't look like I will be. So I will let you guys know. I was a bit hesitant on actually announcing this because I was supposed to get an answer. Like with all my interviews with Joe Sir, it's just he mixed up the time, and he said sorry, and I appreciate that, but I think Jeff hasn't got in touch, so I can't, I can't announce something if, the person hasn't really given a response. So just, it means they're probably not going to be there. So I have to, predictions for season 4. Okay. My predictions for season 4, I think Cobra Kai might win it because if they do, I mean, I just think Kreese and Terry need to win it together. I think there'll be that one moment they have it. And I'm wondering how this will affect the relationship with Daniel and Johnny and their team up. I think across the board that would really send. I mean, if they end up winning it, that'd be the biggest cliffhanger for season 4, and then maybe they get Barnes back. But imagine them getting Barnes back, although they've won the tournament. Like that would be pretty mad. And I think they will need more help, Johnny and Daniel, because we don't know what Terry and Kreese will do. And we don't know how Johnny and Daniel will react if they do lose. Like, Kreese was never able to finish his sentence when he told John and Daniel, let's do this the old-fashioned way of a tournament. So I'm really curious what their consequences is, because even though Kreese said he'll leave town, what is the consequence for Daniel and Johnny? Like, does that mean they have to stop karate? Like, they have to stop their karate dojo at all costs? Like, imagine that. Imagine the Valley has only one good Cobra Kai. I mean, it only has one karate dojo that's pretty big, and that's only been Cobra Kai. Like, imagine if Cobra Kai actually takes over the whole valley, like Terry promised before. That could be the biggest cliffhanger. And then I feel like Johnny and Daniel will need more support. I feel like they'll have to bring Julie in. They'll have to bring Chosen back. I really want to see Chosen back. I hope we see him. Who win the All Valley? I'm thinking Hawk. Hawk is I don't see him winning it. I feel like it has to be one of the characters that's more of a main, like maybe Miguel or Robby. Possibly Robby if Cobra Kai win it. Sorry, I didn't catch up on these. Oh my god. I call you Shamoon and Cobra Kai Nation. Yeah. I mean, just call me Sham or CKN. I mean, I don't mind. How old am I? I'm 50. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm 21. Who is Carmen's husband? Soham, it's a very good question. I think a lot of people, like myself, think it's Terry Silver, because she said he was a very bad man, and when she found out what he was up to, she had to leave him. If it's not Terry Silver, it could be a new character. And we all thought it was that character that played Roger, Rick Perez, but it wasn't Miguel's father. Because if he's Miguel's father, I feel like he'd be around longer. Will Terry Silver return? Yeah. Terry Silver is definitely returning. I mean, they tease him right at the end. It's bound to happen. They're just keeping it so secret, just like how they did with Ali and Kamiko. And we knew Chosen was coming back with that teaser we saw back in September. Yeah. Do you have a theory for Kyler? I feel like we're gonna get more backstory on him. I don't really have any theories right now on the top of my mind. I mean, I feel like Kyler is going to become more of an important character though to Cobra Kai, and I think he's going to be. They're going to essentially. Kreese has almost created this new team that he had in '84, and I want to have that same vibe that we have going into this next tournament. You're the best, finally featuring. That underdog feeling that Cobra Kai are going to win it, but Daniel and Johnny are going in as underdogs, although they're probably stronger than Cobra Kai right now because they're forming together. So it could be that Cobra Kai wins looking like the underdog, but realistically they're the bad guys. Wouldn't it be nice if Dimitri and Yasmin get more screen time in season 4? I think they will, although I'm curious what characters are going to get put to the side next season, because obviously you can't have too many in one season. The writers don't like including characters for the sake of it. They do it so it complements the story and that each character has an impact on the overall story. Do you think Mike Barnes returns season 4? I think if he does return in season 4, it has to be at the end. I don't think he's going to be subjected to a cameo because in terms of Cobra Kai, he's quite interesting. He could be around for a few episodes and then come back for the next season because I feel like they need to establish Terry and Kreese's relationship again in this season. And that's something that we really want to see. Although they were friends and more than friends, like brothers in Cry Get Free. We don't know what's happened to them within that time frame. So I want to see how that happens and how things go along. Chosen already returned. I literally meant as in Chosen returning for season 4. I mean, obviously he returned now. Did you watch the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer? I have a friend who was doing a live reaction in like an hour or so, and I was going to jump in on it, but I thought I had my interview, so all that. Jadus, what's good, my man? Cobra Kai, Roblox. Pinoy J, what's up? I answered your question. Soham, you said, did Johnny want to kill Kreese? Yeah, I think he was. I think he'd had enough, and he even grabbed the Sai off the wall, so I think he was. No doubt. Who's your favorite character, Cobra Kai? I said Miguel Diaz. It's like when this Cobra Kai season 4 was coming out because season 1 and 2 and 3, why not 4? Okay. Let's just skip to loads of other questions. Guys, there's so many. What spin-off would happen? Well, the Kreese spin-off is officially happening, I think. Well, actually, I wouldn't say official, but I think it's happening because we still need to know a lot more about his backstory. And I want to see a series with Kreese and Terry Silver during Vietnam and know about the missions and more about how that idea of Cobra Kai came. Because what if young Kreese had discussed Cobra Kai, or maybe not, after the finale, we saw that he had that fight with his captain. What if in that flashback right after that trip to Vietnam, they talk about opening a karate dojo? I'm curious, everything about that. It'll be cool. Who do you like better during season 1, season 2, Miyagi-Do, Cobra Kai? I think Cobra Kai with Johnny was the best, honestly. Miyagi-Do wasn't really a thing in season 1. I know Robby was there, but in terms of dojos, I did like Robby season 3, although at the end he's turned on everyone. Season 2. See, it was hard. With season 2, I liked them, but when Kreese started taking control, I was like, these guys are going to turn. I think I was Cobra Kai, in honesty. I do like Miyagi-Do, but I think Johnny being the sensei, I always liked him because I think he had a way that was interesting. But obviously with Daniel, you have that Miyagi vibe and everything. Oh, wow. Co-Law, thank you for the donation. And Shawn and Carla probably be bigger for season 4. I think they will be bigger for season 4 because I made a theory that Shawn's going to get recruited by Robby. And although they have some sort of mutual respect at the end of that scene in the juvenile detention, I think Shawn's going to join Cobra Kai and become part of that new team of crazy Cobra Kai students, just like 84, completely corrupt by Kreese. I'm getting my first. What's up, Brandon? I'm getting my first haircut since May of last year. You know what's funny? I've grown my hair since December 2019. I haven't had a trim since. It's crazy. Well, actually, it might be November. Miguel or Robby? This is an easy one for me. I do like Robby, but Miguel. Hello, CK, and if you're 50, then I'm 70. If anyone believes that, you are a fool. I'm telling you now. Who is Miguel's biggest enemy or rival? His biggest enemy. I mean, he doesn't really have enemies because he's a peaceful guy. Think about it. That's a good question. I feel like maybe Kreese. He didn't like Kreese a lot. So I think that might be it. Robby at some point. Who would win, young Kreese or Johnny now? See, young Kreese hasn't become the Kreese that we know, although he was a good fighter and he was in the army. He's got that youth to him, so I think he would win if it was now because Johnny's a bit older. And but then again, Johnny is quite badass. But I always wonder as well. Imagine young Johnny and young Kreese. So Kreese from when he joined the army, and Johnny in '84 with Cobra Kai. Like, imagine that fight. That would be a tense fight. I don't know. I feel like Johnny would win because he would have learned stuff from a different version of Kreese, and going against a young Kreese, he wouldn't have even known about all the stuff that he learned. So yeah. Who is Sam's biggest enemy rival? Oh, come on, it's obviously Tory. Why will Hawk lose a mohawk? I mean, I don't think he's gonna lose it unless he does change it and wants to look more like Eli. But I don't know. Might lose the mohawk thinking he's a different person. I think he will change fully from Hawk. Maybe Johnny renames him, gets rid of the whole Hawk name. Although Johnny did give it to him. Do you think Tory and Robby will be together? Yeah. I was actually going to do a video on this. I think a few people have been speaking about it. So I didn't want to, just for the sake of it, jump in. I would like to put my viewpoint across, though, for that. Because I think there'll be a point by the end of season 4 where it's revealed to Sam and Miguel that they're together. And I think that will probably develop throughout the mid-season. So then Tory and Robby, yeah, there'll be a thing before the tournament, clearly. I like this question, Pino J. Will Hawk apologize to Daniel for what he did to the dojo and stealing the Medal of Honor? This is something I've been asking as well. I can ask the writers this, but they're not going to give you that clear-cut answer, obviously. But I'm sure they have considered, is Hawk going to own up to all that kind of stuff? And how will Daniel react? I think Daniel will forgive him because he's that type of person, but he's gonna probably understand that. Yeah. See, he didn't know Dimitri got his arm broken by Hawk as well. And if Daniel finds out all of this stuff, I'm sure Daniel would go, damn, like, I need to help this guy. Like, what if he actually helps Hawk more than Johnny? Because with Daniel, he's going to learn a lot of things he didn't learn with Johnny or Kreese. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, if you spam your question, I have to put you on timeout because it's so unfair on all the other people that are trying to put their questions across. So please do not spam. I don't know if my moderator's in. Stupid Universe is in. I was just about to say. Right, my moderators, if someone spams, you immediately put them in timeout. No mercy in this stream. Oh, I like this. Karate Kid 2 Chosen or Karate Kid 3 Mike Barnes. Chosen was Sato's best student at the time. Although we don't know how he was like at a tournament. I'm just assuming he would have been better though. And Mike Barnes, he was going to be an All Valley champ, but Terry and Kreese really prevented that, I guess. Will Hillary Swank show up in Cobra Kai eventually? Oh, come on, they have to. The writers said they've considered everyone from Karate Kid 1 to 4, and they are all canon to the universe, of course. So, you know, based on logic and the way things have gone, they've gone into Karate Kid 1 and 2. Now Karate Kid 3, bringing Terry. We'll probably see Jessica and then Julie from the next Karate Kid. And I hope we see Ned Randall and even Dugan. I don't know how they would fit into the story because they're not really related to any character other than Julie. So I don't know if they sort of become another enemy towards some of the main characters. It'll be interesting. I would like to see Julie come back, have Chosen as well, have like a 3-on-3. You know, imagine Johnny, Daniel, let's say Chosen versus Mike, Terry, and Kreese. And if Chosen doesn't come back, then Julie can obviously replace that. But honestly, it'll be dope. I already said who I think will win All Valley, Cobra Kai. When is season 4 coming out? I think season 4 will be out early. Okay, so at best, December 2021, so this year. Really think they can get a groove on. And if everything goes to plan, you know, I pray that they do. Then it should be coming out December, and we'll get announcements during like perhaps July, August, like the teaser, and then obviously the initial trailer will come out maybe September. I'm curious if I really hope it does come out December 2021. But if it doesn't, then it's got to be January 2022, latest February. If they get a little bit delays and such, but they're not dealing with a move to Netflix. They're not dealing with all this other stuff. Only thing they have to think about is mainly the pandemic and how they get through that when they're filming. And John Hurwitz said they're doing it under strict COVID protocols, so they've been planning this for months. So I'm really hoping they get it done quick. But obviously no rush. I mean, I trust the writers and what they're doing with the series and production. Do you think Sato and Kreese know each other? See, I remember Cobra Kai Theory put this out. I mean, I like the theory as well that Sato and Kreese met, and he said that Sato possibly trained Kreese. I do like the theory. It makes a lot of sense, and it does explain why Sato's karate dojo fist is on the Cobra Kai uniform. And I'm not kidding. Go check out Cobra Kai Theory's video. He literally put it on there. Will Hawk get back with Moon? Yes. I honestly think Hawk will get back with Moon. And I'll tell you why. Yasmin and Dimitri has been a thing. Well, not like they were a thing, but they teased that since season 1. Think about it. So Dimitri is like, oh, I don't care. I would love even Yasmin to spit in my face. It's simple process called law of attraction, and it's actually called a parallel. Law of attraction is more to like real life, but in terms of this kind of universe and TV and film, it's what you call a parallel, and they directly were referring to a future event. And Dimitri liked Yasmin as soon as he saw her, and remember Hawk got with Moon eventually, and then obviously season 2 they're a thing. And then obviously Miguel and Sam, like all 3 of those lads are got with the girls that they like. So what I'm curious about is how it happens. I think Moon's gonna realize that Hawk is not an arsehole now, like he's not a Cobra Kai, because she left him because of what he was becoming. So yeah, I think they're gonna get back together, and I think it'll be in a cool way. And Hawk's probably gonna apologize, do all that kind of stuff. What would you think about Cobra Kai Malibu Beach Rescue crossover? I have no idea, to be honest, man. Not too sure. Are you gay? No. Do you think Chosen gave the secret healing technique? I made a theory on this. I think he has, yeah. I think Chosen may have given it to him, and if it's not that, I then think it's another technique. Not entirely sure what the other technique would be, but it's probably something we don't know. But I do think, from my perspective, it is. But the way he said it, you keep for your collection. It's like referring to something he's just taught Daniel. So he's already taught him the Miyagi pressure points technique. So I'm curious. Do you think Kreese is going to die? I think he will. I really think that Kreese, as he's getting his redemption, maybe he dies like later in season 4, or if not, then I think he will die at some point. I think to complete his arc, having him alive isn't really. I don't know where they would go with it. Like you just can't imagine him being that peaceful old man and just getting on with life. Like I really can't. I think Kreese is gonna die, but it's gonna be in like a crazy way. Like someone stops him from killing someone. I mean, it really is. I mean, Kreese was gonna kill Daniel and Johnny, but he didn't. But if he ever gets a chance, he ain't gonna hesitate. So yeah. If you was in Cobra Kai, what kind of person would you be, and what dojo would you be in? So if Cobra Kai was owned by Johnny, I would be in Cobra Kai. If not, I would move to Miyagi-Do if Eagle Fang wasn't around. So I would pretty much stick by Johnny because I trust him. I would like to join Miyagi-Do now, especially that they've actually got more students and is more established. Plus, Daniel teaches you a lot of good things. But I love Johnny. I think he'd be hilarious and also teach you a lot of good things. And it's like an awesome badass way. Okay, damn. Guys, I've already answered so many of these questions. If you guys think I'm ignoring your question, it's probably because you've asked me something that's already been answered. Do you think Hawk is a spy? There is a lot of people keep asking me this question. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go the whole espionage spy thing. I really don't. I don't think it. I don't know if they'll do this. You know, it's too cliche for someone to be betraying inside the dojo and then rejoin. Like this ain't one of them films or series. But then again, you know, Robby joined the dojo, Cobra Kai, and then Hawk became. I mean, two things that I mean, I didn't expect the Hawk thing, but I did expect the Robby thing because of how it's going. And they made a theory a while ago saying he would, because Kreese kept saying to Johnny that it's bad that your son's there. He should be in Cobra Kai. And look what happened. Can you answer this? Where's Hawk's parents? Well, remember, yeah, we saw his mum. Mr. Palmer. I don't know. I don't think his father would be Mr. Palmer. I mean, surely they would have, maybe he would have brought it up. Not too sure. That's a good question, but I do not have the answer. Do you think Robby will turn good in Cobra Kai season 4? See, I hope he has that moment like Johnny did. You know, Johnny realized that. I mean, the way they set up Robby and Miguel's relationship, it's almost like, you know, the way they. So Robby and Miguel's, they haven't really got a relationship, obviously, but the way they're going to set up that rivalry is similar to Johnny and Daniel in '84. I think Robby is going to realize that Miguel ain't so much of a bad guy because he sees so much problems through Miguel. Like Miguel got with Sam, he likes Sam. Miguel, you know, pretty much stole his father, made him more important than Robby. And you know, everything seems to be Miguel seems to be the center of everything, although Robby hasn't really got to know him and such. And you're going to be a bit suspicious, like you feel like one of your students. Let's say like you were in a karate dojo, and let's say one of your students was getting basically treated more like a son, and you're the actual son. Like it's weird. Although they're not in the same dojo, you'll know what I mean. Like, you know, you got to treat the real son proper. But obviously, they're not in the same dojo. Johnny's just trying to make sure he doesn't make the same mistake he did with Robby. Robby doesn't let him back in because thing after thing happens. It gets really sad, you know. I just hate the fact Johnny and Robby can't put things aside and then go forward. But I understand Robby's had enough. He's young and he's had to deal with so much in his lifetime. That his dad being around, and Johnny just has bad timing, and he's not focusing on him. Like he forgot about visiting him at the juvenile detention center. You know, when Bobby says, "I can get you visitation," I think he should have said to Rosa, "I'm sorry, I've got to see my son, my actual son, because I promised to see him," but he didn't. And I know she begged to see. She begged Johnny to stay, but he could have gone and seen the son. Miguel wouldn't have got hurt by that, you know. I think that's just for the sake of story, though. Eric Lee in the house. Shout out to Cobra Kai family. Michael Franco, do you think Betsy was pregnant and gave birth to Amanda? Wow, I did not even think of anything like that. If Betsy is the mother of Amanda, that'd be interesting. See, I've always wondered this. Why haven't we got anything on Amanda's parents or even a reference? Like, I'm always curious if we'll see her parents and maybe her family. Maybe they're saving that for a big twist, but who knows? If she is related to the Kreeses, we would have found out because she slapped Kreese, so they're not related. But yeah, I think Betsy people think that she's the mother of or the grandmother of Tory, but I'm not sure. Will Aisha return? I think she will. Writers said they never writ her out. They just didn't get her. Obviously, she wasn't involved in this for the sake of, it's for the story. They actually said there's no problem with, all the stuff that happened with her. They didn't even say anything about that. They just said that they didn't write her in this season because there's so much going on anyway. And it makes sense. Like, where is Aisha going to fit? She actually has such a good place for season 4 because Aisha can basically, be that third person. Like, what's been going on? I've missed so much. I moved school. Even nearly moved house, and that's what Moon tells Yasmin. That, like, literally, early into season 3. You think Sam and Miguel relationship will last? I think, it could go for another turn again, but we'll find out if that's the case. They seem to be getting on now, so if anything breaks them apart, it's going to be extreme, I feel. It can't just be anything small. Do you think Robbie and Miguel are going to be stepbrothers? See, I feel the only way Robbie would probably put his beef to bed with Miguel is if Johnny gets married to Carmen. Carmen is officially Robbie's mother-in-law, and obviously his biological mum's been a good and a bad mother. But Carmen would be a really nurturing mother. She would really look after Robbie like her own. And if she realizes what Robbie's been through, and she realizes, obviously through marriage, that she's going to have another son, she'll probably be happy because she knows Johnny doesn't want to make the same mistakes that he did with, Miguel. And I think they will get married. I think he'll become a real father, unless that stirs things up more and, Miguel's father comes back and it just gets a bit mad. I would love to see them two become brothers, though, because I think they just, Miguel will be that forgiving type. He would probably accept it and be like, we've had all this beef and stuff, but look how close we were and look how similar we were. We didn't have our dads around. I know your dad was looking after me and stuff, but I feel like there's a moment where they'll both put everything to bed. They'll explain each other's sides. At the time Miguel saw Sam with Robbie, and in the time Robbie saw Miguel being hugged by Johnny. It's like everything. I really want them to explain themselves to each other because they haven't had a clear moment to talk. Like, even in season 3 when Sam and Miguel are together, Bobby doesn't even get a chance to speak to Sam. It's like, I just want him to talk. If these guys could just talk, like, a lot of the stuff wouldn't even happen. But they haven't really had that opportunity, which is a shame. You think Dutch will join Daniel and Johnny? See, I don't know if Dutch is coming back for season 4, but not Steve McQueen, that's his father. Chad McQueen, who plays Dutch, had commitments to McQueen Racing, so he couldn't return for season 1 and 2, I believe, or season 2. And I think he was approached, and Josh Hill answered this question saying that that's why they've written him in prison, because they could bring him back. But to say he's in prison, there could be a good reason, or that's just a good way to write the character out for the moment. So yeah, I hope we see him, because rest in peace, Rob Garrison. It was his birthday yesterday. We lost him back in September 2019. We need another, friend of Johnny's we haven't seen yet, and Dutch is the only one left. Do you think Sam and Miguel's relationship will last? I already answered this. No disrespect to Amanda, but do you think you agree that Daniel should have met? You know what's funny? Me and my brother were saying this, that Kamiko is so pure, and I think if Daniel wasn't tied down to Amanda, I honestly think Daniel should just get married to her, because she's loyal. And I can tell you now, like, out of all the men, like she said, that had, she could have married and all that kind of stuff, she said none of them got close to Daniel because Daniel fought for her to the death. So Daniel will forever have that. He will always win over Kamiko no matter what when it comes to, like, a relationship. Like, Kamiko could be with someone for 10 years, but Daniel comes in. Kamiko's got her emotions everywhere. Like, he fought for her. like especially when he needed her most, and they weren't even together at the time. So imagine if they were together. I would ship them 100% if he wasn't with Amanda. But I do like Amanda. But yeah, I do agree. I just think Kamika would be, they'd be the best together. You're welcome. Hawk is gonna fight Robbie. I think they will. Um, Hawk is gonna hate him even more, knowing he's in Cobra Kai, and probably hate him more because of obviously what he did to Miguel. Uh, and you can see then that's also what put Hawk off Cobra Kai. You know, you got Kyler, someone that used to bully me, I absolutely hate, and nearly got his other friend in, and then Robbie, who betrayed or even hurt, their former champion or their current champion and their good friend. You're just gonna let Robbie in after that? Like Kreese obviously avoided the question when he gets approached by Hawk, and Hawk says he's the enemy. He hurt Miguel, and he says about the war and villagers being betraying them. It's like he's got to chill. Like it's so true what Hawk was saying. But yeah. But Robbie treated Johnny like shit in season 1 and 2. But you gotta understand, if I agree with what you're saying, Eric, but if your dad wasn't around for 15 or 16 years, or since when you were a kid, are you really going to give them any sort of how are you going to actually, like, you're not going to be in that age to be mature enough to deal with that, and you're not going to accept that. You're going to be like, what the F, man? So I totally get Robbie's perspective. You are right, though. I do feel Robbie was difficult, and he didn't give Johnny the chance to, amend things. But there's a lot of that's a lot of years you've missed stuff. It's gonna hit Robbie. And Robbie's the kind of guy, he's not gonna forget. So how do you see Cobra Kai ending? Okay, basically, I think Cobra Kai is gonna end like this. Okay, so I pop out at the end and I go, none of this actually happened, guys. Obviously joking. I think Johnny and Daniel will just, maybe they form a dojo together at some point in after season 4, and they leave a legacy for karate students in the future, and it combines both principles. And I think from there on, Miguel, Sam, Hawk, all of these guys, they become senseis for Daniel and Johnny, and they become like older men. And then I think that will be it. I think karate there'll be like a new dojo with those guys, but there'll be a form of karate that everyone will respect the most. And maybe they even open like some sort of academy type thing, and it expands so much. Like there's so many dojos everywhere. Like just imagine that. What do you think of Shannon's reaction when she knew Robbie joined with Kreese? I think she would. Well, with the circumstances, she's on the road to recovery from rehab. I think it's going to hurt her, especially knowing that Robbie's becoming who he kind of was in season 1. And I think that either will affect her relationship with Johnny again, or she will. I don't know how this is going to affect her. I doubt she's going to start doing drugs again and all that. But I think she'll try and be a mother to Robbie. But Robbie's not going to let it happen, because Robbie wasn't angry with her in season 3 when he ran to her at the rehab. But I'm just curious, like, if she even will. She'll definitely try and like contact him and stuff. But I think Robbie's just so far gone with all the things that have happened to him with his family that he's not going to bother. But yeah, I'm curious. Shawn versus Kyler. A lot of people are thinking that too. See, I don't know. I mean, not literally them fighting each other at the tournament, but I think in a fight, Shawn's a bit more. He's bigger, and I think he's a bit more physical. But Kyler, learning Cobra Kai and stuff, he could beat Shawn if Shawn isn't trained by Cobra Kai. Do you think Tory and Sam will be friends? I don't know. They might just leave that as a thing, and even 30 years down the line, they're still not friends. I think Tory and Sam might just like have mutual respect at some point, but that's got to be way further down the line, you know? I can't imagine that anywhere else. Pardon me? Will Ali come back? Do you, like... See, yeah, we saw her in season 3, but are we going to see her back? Depends. Depends on how they write it and how the story goes. I would like to see her back, though. Do you think Bobby will say sorry to Daniel? See, Bobby's a very spiritual person. He's really different. I think at some point he will see Daniel again. And especially that Johnny and Daniel are teaming up. I think Bobby's going to tell him and say, I'm really sorry about hurting you. And I actually think that will happen. I do like this. I have been thinking about this for a while now. And it's funny you said that, Lisa, because I was thinking about doing a video about Bobby, like, pretty much meeting Daniel after how many years and going, yeah, I'm sorry about what happened at the tournament. I think I would like to see that happen for sure. Sarah, go follow Samantha LaRusso on Instagram. What's a good fan account? Anna, what is up? Is Miguel going to fight only in the finals as the former champion like Daniel Crockett 3? See, I was thinking this as well. This is a great question. So I'll tell you what I think. So you remember Xander Stone, who was the champion of the last All Valley tournament before the one Miguel won? He fought Aisha, and that wasn't even the tournament final. So what I'm curious is about, if Xander had to fight again throughout the tournament, and I'm sure it was him that was fighting Aisha, then surely that whole principle of the champion doesn't fight one fight, he has to fight again. Because I honestly thought that would have happened, and I thought it would have been a similar turn with Miguel fighting Robby, and they kind of parallel that scene in Karate Kid 3, but I don't think it's happening. I think some sort of rule change down the line. But I am really curious. Like, next time John Hurwitz does like a Twitter Q&A and something, I'm gonna ask him this, like, why did they change that? I mean, it's been a lot of time since the last All Valley we saw, you know, back in the Karate Kid film, but they could have easily changed rules within that time. Like, sports is always changing. I never liked Robby, to be honest. He's misunderstood. I didn't like him at some point in season 2. I think he was getting in the way of Miguel and Sam, but then again, I kind of realized the things he's been going through, so it's like 50-50. And then there's a question regarding season 3. Why didn't they show Brooks afterwards? To be honest, they didn't show it because I think that would have played with the rating of the show. And I understand there's like a legal requirement with, it's like, you know, dropping the F-bomb. Nate dropped was it Nate? I think it was Nate dropped the F-bomb. But basically, they cannot show too much gore or blood if it's a specific rating. If this was an 18, they would have shown Brooks' face, I think. But because it's a 15, I think is family orientated as well. They had to tone down on that. But yeah, I think that's the only reason why. Or it might just be from a dramatic effect. Do you think Terry Silver has changed? Okay, I'm not saying he will be the same guy or very different, but he must have been a little bit different. Like, they're gonna. So it's either they do a similar route to Kreese, where you think he's misunderstood, or he just got worse after the war. Well, not just worse after the war, but more psychotic after Karate Kid 3. I mean, who knows? I would like to see what he's like. He might be more ill, and something might have happened to him. Like, what if he has dementia, or he's like got more issues than Kreese? Like, interesting. Oh, Eric Lee, oh yeah, this is about that question earlier on. I think they retired and the students become the teachers. Pretty much what I said. So they either retire or they kind of just run the dojo every so often, but they're like the grand senseis of the dojo, or they're karate. So yeah, and I think Miguel and Sam will be good teachers. I'm trying to see a question I haven't answered yet. I think that Hawk will be placed against Kyle in the brackets, and Kyle will get too scared to fight, and Hawk forces him to. I think Hawk will beat him. He's gonna mash the guy up. Let's be honest. Like he look what he did to Brooks. I think Kyler would be a good fight, but I just think in the way Hawk was, I think he would do more insane. Unless it's a interesting fight. Time skip. Maybe a few weeks into season 4, it's like set right. A few weeks after season 3. Who do you think will win Terry Silver versus Kreese? Whew, that's a fight I actually have always wondered. Obviously, it won't happen in. I don't think it'd ever happen. I can't imagine them fighting each other. But I think it depends. I think Terry, well, the actors himself in the Karate Kid 3, like Thomas Ian Griffin could really fight. He was a black belt in Taekwondo. I mean, Terry Silver looked really slick. I think it'd be a close fight. I think Terry could about just win it. But then again, Kreese has probably got that mental edge on Terry. Like the fact he saved him a lot in Vietnam, that would come into play. I think Kreese would probably win. And he's come against the odds. He beat his captain in that fight, as we saw in the finale of season 3. So yeah, that's interesting. I think Kreese would just about win that. But it's going to be a close one. Oh, so many comments. So many comments. Do you know what, guys? I thought of a cooler idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring some of you guys onto the stream, and you can just ask me the question yourself, because I think it'll be fun. I'll select a few people. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste the actual link, and I'm gonna put it, if I can. Can I do that? Right. You guys can join. Obviously, it'll be limited how many people. You guys can join the stream, and you can ask me your questions. This is almost like a call-in thing. I love it. I actually haven't done this with you guys yet, so I think it'll be fun. So if you guys join, go on the link. I'll add you on the stream. You answer the question. I can still take in questions as well, but I can't take long on your question too much because obviously there'll be more people. So yeah. Cameron Rhodes, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well. Do you think Daniel will fight Terry Silver? I hope they do. They haven't had a fight yet. Kreese and Daniel finally had a fight in, the finale. So I hope we see Terry. That'll be amazing. Some people will join. By the way, you don't have to show your face. You can leave your camera off. It can be your voice, whatever. All right, we got a few people. Let's start with this man, Falcon. What is up, Falcon?
Hello.
How's it going?
All good.
So, what's your question?
I wanted to check if, as it ended, I felt Miguel wouldn't recover as easy as we thought, and he might take some time and wouldn't like match up to the others who are already
Right.
like in great shape. And I thought that Hawk would be like the best bet for Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do against Robby. What do you feel?
So, regarding Miguel, see, the thing is, it took a while for him to even do what he did against Kyler. Like, this is the finale, remember? Although Miguel had that moment against Kyler, he's not at his best because look how beaten up he got, right?
Yeah.
I think he's got I think he's got a few more episodes in terms of him recovering. So maybe by the time season 4 starts, he would have been better recovered. Although I think he'll be at full strength by the tournament. I don't think they're going to nerf him though. I think that will be the case. They'll just make sure he recovers, before the tournament. Because I just hope he's not sort of this version in the next season, because that'd be quite annoying, So I hope that answers your question. And regarding Hawk, Hawk and Robby, I think they will fight, and I think he'll be at the tournament. Possible they fight prior to that. Maybe Hawk gets jumped because Tory said watch your back to Hawk. So yeah. I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry, I have to kick you off because I've got a few other people wanting to join, but thank you for joining. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Who else we got here? Let's add this person here.
Hey, what's
Co.
up? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, perfect. What's up, my man? How we doing?
Yo, I just started watching your YouTube channel. I like it. Where you discuss
Oh, I
all
appreciate it, man.
everything Cobra Kai.
Yeah, man. We do everything like news, theories. Yeah, A to Z on Cobra Kai. I would pretty much say.
Yeah, I just got one question. Do you think you would interview the pawn shop guy actor? You think you ever
Did you
interviewed
ask
him?
the question earlier on? Because I think I saw a question about that. About the pawn shop guy. The actor. Yeah, I mean, I can if people really want that, I can get that set up. I've really been contacting people who I like spoke to prior to season 3. So it's not necessarily an order to who I'm interviewing. It's more of like
Yeah.
availability. But I can make that happen. Yeah. Probably February. I can get in touch with Matt and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that'd be badass because I liked his character. Even though he's a minor character, I do enjoy what he brings to the show with his scenes with Johnny. That's hilarious.
Right. Mate, I'm just so honored to interview who I have and anyone else on the show. Like it'll be awesome because you always find out something that you probably didn't think of, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a good suggestion. Do you have any other questions, or was that everything?
That's it. Let's have another
All
person
right. Well,
have their turn.
a warm welcome to CKN. Appreciate you having being here, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the content going forward. And yeah, I'll definitely I'll put that as a poll just so to see if people really want to see that happen. But I want to interview Pawn Shop Guy just about his scenes because they were great with Johnny.
All right. Take care, man.
Thank you very much, man. Let's get somebody else in. Udi. Hey, what's up, my man?
What's up? How you doing?
Not too bad. How we doing? How we doing?
Doing all right.
All right. What's your question?
To be honest, if for Hawk versus Kyle, I feel like Hawk would like crush him. So for me, I prefer Shawn to fight Hawk because like he has that aggression. He's like a bigger dude. He would give him that challenge he would need.
I think Hawk and Kyler, like, I think there's no sort of match there because Kyler's gonna have that fear of like what Hawk did to Bruck. So like, it's not really. I don't think Hawk's never gonna have a problem with him unless like Kyler fights him prior to the tournament and he gets a bit of confidence. But I think Shawn would just like it'll be like a ragdoll situation, like Shawn's so physically strong. Like look what he did to Robby. So I would like to see that for sure. Was that your question then?
Yeah. Thank you, Sham. I love your channel, by the way.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming on, and that was a good question. I'm gonna get someone else in, but stay tuned, and I'll catch you later.
All right, take care.
Okay, who we got next? By the way, it's 10 people at a time, so I can't add everyone all together. Who? Texas Ninja. What's up, Texas Ninja?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. What's up? How we doing?
Okay, so I texted a comment in the chat, but I don't think you saw it. Or maybe you just didn't
I'll
answer,
begin
but
spam, just comments
yeah, I know. So, do you think that the All Valley will be the main event in season 4, or do you think there's gonna be another fight?
Ooh, I like this question. See, I think it's almost like a decoy, right? So what I mean is the All Valley is obviously going to be one of the main focuses, but because that's already happened in season 1, I think there's going to be something happening after the tournament that's going to will give us more focus on that rather than the tournament. Obviously, this is the next season's the preparation, the tournament. I think it might happen earlier than it did in the original or in season 1 because like I think there's going to be something else building after the tournament, right? Like, what do you think is going to happen? Is it, well, it
I
depends on
don't
the
know.
result.
Like, yeah, like if Cobra Kai wins, then there's probably gonna be like another fight, and like I would expect like the Miyagi-Do slash Eagle Fang to win if they would have a rematch. But
Right.
also, I don't think that if Cobra Kai would win, I don't think that like Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do would like try and have like revenge because they're not like that.
See, the thing is, you remember when Kreese said about let's settle this the old way, like the tournament. Kreese said he'll go
Yeah,
if they win, but if they lose, what happens to Johnny and Daniel's dojos? Do they shut? Do they have to leave the valley? I mean, I don't think they will. I think it'll be
yeah,
more.
that's a good point.
I mean, there's been no sort of they really even left that in the air. Like, there's no clear direction on what happens to the dojos. But I think if they lose, John and Daniel wouldn't. I don't think they'd back down because they know if Kreese is around, nothing will change. Um, but the All Valley this season or next season, I say, it's going to be a tense one for sure. And I personally think Cobra Kai will win it for the sake of the story. I could be completely wrong, but I think just it makes things so much more tense, But yeah, was
Yeah,
that your question then? I hope I answered your question right and
yeah.
everything.
Also, if like if Hawk changes his color to like his mohawk color, um, do you think that like there's a possibility that it could be purple? Because like he had blue, he had red, and then like the mixture of blue and red is purple.
He could do a color he hasn't done yet. I've heard the purple and yellow thing quite a lot, and green as well. But then again, like I think he's technically an Eagle Fang, so he's with Johnny again. So he could just keep it red. I mean, I can't imagine what other colors he'd go for maybe he goes a color we're not expecting. I mean, I don't think it'd be like a normal hair color because his mohawk is the attraction with the different color it is.
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
maybe he just loses the mohawk completely.
I was saying this to someone earlier on. Like, I think he could essentially, sort of become Eli again, but not
Yeah, I
Eli
would
from
like
season
that.
one. Because he'll realize
Yeah.
like he became quite an arsehole when he became Hawk. And like Dimitri's gonna sort of keep him to being Eli, but then still being a badass. Like how Johnny's saying you can still be a badass without being an asshole. So it's like that whole route. I am curious what happens with this character, but yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
No worries. Okay, next question. We have Michael Franco. What is up, my man?
Hey, I'm probably the oldest viewer you have here. I'm almost 50 years old, but I got two-part question. The first one is on when Johnny's car got destroyed and they were shopping for cars. Daniel posted that, hey, this is a Challenger 5.8, and then Johnny goes, oh, it's 5.7, and Daniel says, oh, you know about cars. Since Miyagi-Do is for free, Johnny doesn't have a job. Do you think he's going to be a car salesman for LaRusso?
Michael, it's weird you said this, man. I was discussing this with someone last week, and I put out um, a wild suggestion out there. It does sound crazy, but the way Johnny and Daniel have come together, it's possible. Yeah, he could work at the dealership with with Daniel. It sounds like I can't imagine him being that business type of person. So he's going to be really. He might like annoy Daniel in the way he is because he's very old school, whereas Daniel understands things now. I think he might inherit some of Sid's money if Sid dies. But yeah, I mean, in terms of jobs, I think Daniel could also help him out in that way. So I would like to see that. It'd be quite funny seeing them both together at the dealership. But I'm curious how they would deal with that because Daniel and Johnny, they obviously have their own stories in Cobra Kai. They have their own perspective. I don't know if they're going to always be around each other next season. But it's something we haven't seen yet. So if you can imagine more scenes of them just being together, and that happened through the dealership, that would make sense. Like you said, they like cars, and they obviously know it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's a good question. But I would like to see, yeah, Johnny and Daniel maybe work together at the dealership. Like that'd be quite a funny scenario as well.
Oh, it will, because the fact that they're gonna have the tension again, you know. And remember when they were driving, when they were testing out the car and
Yeah,
test driving it, and then blasted the music. It's like, oh, you like Speedwagon? It's like, what kind of man doesn't?
yeah,
Right? So it's kind of
that
relation
chemistry.
back, yeah, the relation back to what kind of guy doesn't know about cars. So that's where I kind of
Yeah,
looked at the actual, connection. So my second question is, if this is a longer part, it's actually a little deeper. So Japanese karate evolved from Mother China. So it consists of the dragon, tiger, the crane, and the praying mantis. The scroll was never opened and set in episode 5. He already explained. He already chosen already showed the praying mantis technique, which disables limbs. With like praying mantis in general in nature,
hmm
disables their prey first. That scroll may be the dragon scroll, because I'll tell you right now, on the ending credits of episode 10, and when the Cobra Kai logo showed up, everybody pretty much turned it off. But they
mm.
were playing a popular NES title back in 1987, Double Dragon. If you can hear the tune in the back, it's like the tune, the chime that they used. So, what do you think of the actual um, new dojo's name, Double D? And then I'm sorry, Triple D, because when they made a reference of the new Cobra Kai, um, when they were thinking about names, it's like, oh, we should just change the Cobra Kai to K. It should be KKK. Oh, that's not a good idea. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, if they change the name to Double D, like, I mean, for a new dojo, I don't know if that's combining Johnny and Daniel as well. Um,
If you can see
that,
the if you can see the resemblance of the actual characters in Double Dragon, it's the blonde hair guy and the black hair guy. So they look
mm,
very very similar. And it's also a Japanese game, which he went to
yeah.
Okinawa, and
See, it's possible. If I mean, I'm open to this idea because the writers, they're way ahead. They've watched every Karate Kid film, understand everything, and you can clearly see how they do things. Even if they deliberately place little things without even realizing, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's possible. I won't rule it out. But I feel like they would have a more. I mean, I feel like they have a more legitimate name that would make it sound more um, true to what it is, if that makes sense.
but how did they get the rights to those tunes and the chime and the ending credits? That's very
I'm
hard.
not sure. I mean, this is something worth asking the writers if you ever get the chance. It's a good question, though. I don't know the exact answer for it,
I
but
know
I mean,
nobody does. It's all speculation. So
yeah, it's I'll put it out there. It's a good theory, though, if you'd like to put it as a theory. But yeah, I think that's something we'll probably find out if that's the case.
yeah, man.
But yeah,
I mean,
Michael,
I
thanks for
asked you
coming
the other
on,
day.
brother.
No
I've got
problem, man.
so many questions to get through, but
Got
like,
it.
I hope I answered your question best as
Yep.
possible. And yeah, thank you for joining and everything.
No problem.
All right. Who else we got here? Sorry, guys. If I'm okay, I got quite a few more people. Sorry, I'm just trying to check. Shamir, let's get Shamir. Is that how I say? Is that how you say it, Shamir?
They're close.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
It's going good. It's nice to see you.
You too. You too. What's your question? Do you have anything for me?
Yes. So if sorry about the background. But if
That's all right.
do you think like since we like saw that thing we're
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well. I'm sorry, Shamir. I really can't hear what you're saying.
you don't have to do me later.
What I'll do is I'll come back to
Well,
you. I'll come back to you, and then when you get that sorted, I'll add you back on. West Coast, how's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for actually having me.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to know, so, like, do we have a date for season 4 that I could be expecting?
Okay, so we don't have a clear confirmed date, although one of the, I don't know if you saw one of my videos, but I discussed that I think one of the official Netflix accounts on Instagram kind of just put it out there that we might be getting season 4 this year.
Oh,
So basically, it was a post that said things that are coming soon, and you have to translate it because it was, I think it was a Spanish Netflix account, and it's verified. It's a really big account and everything, and it said Cobra Kai season 4 was part of that, and it's also with Stranger Things season 4, and then all these other shows. And I think earliest at best for season 4 is December 2021, and I think latest is probably January or Feb 2022. I also remember that John Hurwitz said on Twitter that we should be getting season 4 roughly a year after season 3. So that makes sense to me if that's the case.
okay. I have
So,
another question.
sure.
Okay, so my other question is, like how Miguel he had like how he had fallen off of the thing, and then he was trying to fight like after not after Johnny and his son had to fight, and they went back in. Do you think he's going to like be still kind of sort of injured because they did have that fight before they arrived? They had
So
the
you're
other
saying that
fight.
you think that Miguel, I don't understand the question. Are you saying when they fight each other again that Miguel's gonna still have that injury?
Yeah, I think that because like unless they
Oh,
do like
okay. I understand. Okay, so I think at the tournament, Robbie might like hurt Miguel, and he knows where he probably knows about the injury, obviously, and like he might be able to exploit that at the tournament or when they fight again, and that could, similar to how, like when Bobby injures Daniel in the original Karate Kid film, and then Johnny takes advantage of that because he knows he was already injured in that same place. It's like when Miguel he hurt Robbie on the shoulder when Robbie got that injury from Hawk. Do you remember in the first season?
yeah.
So I can imagine Robbie doing that to Miguel, sort of maybe kicking him on the back or injuring him in a way that makes it so hard for him to fight, just like it was for Daniel. And I
Oh,
think there might be like a scene where Daniel, not Daniel, but
Johnny.
Miguel basically does like a new technique we haven't seen and he ends up winning. I would like to see it happen that way.
Yeah.
But I think maybe Cobra Kai will win the next tournament. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you
Um,
for having me.
you're welcome, man. I just have to kick you off now just so I can get next question in. But
Okay,
I'll see you soon, West Coast. Thanks for joining.
you're welcome.
Okay, let's see who else we got here. Kevin, the speedster. You are live, my friend. What's up?
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome, my friend.
All right,
What's the
so two
question?
questions. One, I agree with the fact that Cobra Kai will win the tournament because they have a plan to extend this to 6 seasons. Do you think that they could step it up like potentially doing another tournament, maybe even going bigger, like doing a national tournament to settle things with Kreese?
I like your idea because we haven't seen a tournament that really. I mean, it's already limited. It's a certain age group, under 18.
Yeah.
In the Valley, we haven't seen one with other dojos in the US, right?
Yeah.
I do think it would be hard to balance all of that because imagine how many dojos would be competing at a
Yeah.
tournament. Although they could sort of run it in the same way as at All Valley, it's just that the best of the best in the country here.
Yeah.
If you're talking karate in terms of domination and wanting to make that karate more relevant to the entirety of that state or even generally the whole country, I think that would make your idea clear and make it happen, because for progression it makes sense, and it's a fresh idea. I like that idea because what if there's like dojos in other states that are very similar to Cobra Kai, or you just made me think of an idea actually. What if there's like Daniel, he obviously does Miyagi-Do. He learned that from Miyagi.
Yeah.
And you remember Julie from Next Karate Kid?
Yeah.
So, like, what if, like, there's another Miyagi-Do, or not Miyagi-Do, what if there's another dojo that learns Miyagi-Do, and is Julie teaching that, and Daniel didn't know about that? Like, there could be some sort of clash. Like, a lot of people believe, or actually Cobra Kai 3 put this theory out. He thinks that Sato knew Kreese, and that's how he taught him the karate that he knows. Although they kind of name dropped the sensei in that flashback with Kreese and his captain. But to answer your question, I would like to see that happen because that's something different.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of plays with that idea and that concept as well, with Kreese saying we can wipe out this entire snowflake generation. So if he wants to do that, he'll have to go, the entirety of the states if he really wants Cobra Kai to be known that well. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I like the background. That's pretty badass, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Really enjoy your content. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, man. I hope you enjoy what else comes and everything. And again, just thank you for being a subscriber and being constant support and everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Okay, we have, who else we got? Is it Zane? Zane,
Yes,
my man, what's up?
Hi, man.
Like the hoodie. It's cool.
Yeah, thanks. Do you think it's possible if Cobra Kai loses the tournament? Do you think will Kreese actually go? Because that's not his mindset. He usually he stays. Like, do you think he's gonna like go that easily? Because they want to extend it 6 seasons. So.
I think that Kreese is. I mean, he's a sneaky guy, right? He's a sneaky guy. Kreese really. I mean, he won't let go. Like, look how he sort of was very smart with Johnny and sort of got him mentally with, giving him that second place trophy and then walking out. And then Johnny says, no, wait. Like, and then he convinced Robby to come to Cobra Kai. It's like, he's very good with the mental game, right? He knows how to work with you. Even if you're not realizing it. I think Kreese is not going to let up even if they lose a tournament. It's possible that they could lose a tournament. When I say that I think Cobra Kai will win it, I don't mean that Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang can't win it, I just think in terms of story it makes more sense. But I think if they lose, I think, Kreese and Terry are going to go more crazy because it's like, history's repeating itself again. But yeah, what do you think? Do you want to see Cobra Kai win, or do you want to see the good guys obviously win?
Just in case they don't win, I feel like Kreese will make Cobra Kai push further on Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. But yeah, it would be cool to see Robby win.
Okay, I like your answer. I hope I answered your question well enough. And I can't wait to see what happens in next All Valley because it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dane, thank you for joining. I'm sorry I have to kick you off now because I've got some other questions to take. But
No,
thank you
it's
for
okay.
being a supporter and joining the stream.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, for people that are, I've just put the link in, so if anyone else wants to answer a question, go for it. Russia Heart 47. What's up?
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
yeah, it's going good.
So what question you got for me?
So you know how, like Tori said to Hawk, you better watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that her and the Cobras might go to the house and like maybe shave the like take the mohawk off, like shaving it.
Okay. Was that your question?
Yeah.
So you think Tori is gonna shave Hawk's mohawk off?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Dimitri said, oh, he won't need to because he's got friends, I think it's possible Hawk will. I think he's definitely going to get jumped by the Cobras because like he's pretty much betrayed them, right?
Yeah.
Tori's going to tell Kreese. Kreese is going to tell Robby and all the others, and it could be that Robby, Tori, and another. I mean, I'm guessing he's going to get jumped. Yeah, no mercy. If they don't, shave his mohawk, they're going to definitely beat him up. I think Carla will want to be involved as well because remember Hawk beat the hell out of his friend. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine Kyla, going, yeah, I want to get this guy, and Robby going, yeah, I want to beat him up too, and then Tori's obviously the one telling all of the people. Kreese will probably say, yeah, let's send him a nice message,
Yeah.
I can imagine them cutting his hair off. Although I think he might get rid of the mohawk this season if he feels like it better represents him to not have it anymore. So yeah, man, I actually think it's possible. I won't rule it out. It really depends, though. A lot of people like Eli when he's Hawk because of the look. I mean, a lot of people want him to keep it to change the color, but yeah, I mean, I'm rambling. But I hope I've answered your question right, and yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. I gotta kick you out because I've got to add some more people because I want to answer questions. So appreciate you coming in.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Okay, Philip.
Hey man,
Philip,
how's it
what's
going?
up? Not too bad, not too bad. What's your question for me, my man?
I just like there is a chance that Cobra Kai does lose the tournament at the end of the season.
Mhm.
So if because their agreement was if Cobra Kai loses, then Kreese would go. So I think I heard this before, like you guys said like Kreese probably won't go that easily. So what do you think like the storyline would be for like season 5 and 6?
See, if it really depends on this result, of course. But if they have season 5 and 6, they're gonna have to do something to extend the story. Like, we might not see another tournament after season 4 because it's taken so long for them to get the second tournament going. And to the time frame as well. It's before they even turn 18. So I don't think they're going to fit another 2 seasons with another tournament. I really don't see it happening unless they do it. But I think no matter the result, I think Kreese is gonna try and do something to Daniel and Johnny. Like he tried to kill them in the finale, right? So
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think.
crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Like Kreese goes, time for you and Miyagi to reunite, and
Yeah, I was
that's
like,
when
my
Daniel.
heart kind of dropped there. Like, oh, it's going deep now.
Yeah. I think it. I mean, Kreese saw him as a kid, and now he wants to kill the kid that he saw, like back in the 80s. It's actually mad if you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this how deep the story's so deep. Like I feel like, I mean, it's potentially that Kreese dies next season. Because what's more for him? He might have his redemption, but I feel like with these guys, I feel like Kreese, Terry Silver, they've got so much trauma. I truly don't believe they'll ever get over it.
Yeah.
I think Terry's going to take the hands, and he's going to be the one to keep the story going. Although I'd love to see more Kreese, I think they might end up killing him, and that could be the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to extend the story, there has to be a significant development in the story, as you'd imagine, for them to actually have a reasonable excuse for continuing it. The writers are clearly passionate about, Cry Kid Cobra Kai, and they always say this thing like they will not include characters or write story that doesn't, I mean, they won't let characters with they won't include arcs that don't impact the story enough. So the arcs and all the story they create is going to have to be deep, meaningful, and obviously respect the Cry Kid trilogy. So it's really a difficult one. Like, I think season 5 and 6, it's always, how many shows lose its like spark after like maybe season 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be the case with Cobra Kai, because it just seems to get
Yeah.
better and better. And
Yeah,
season 4 is raising the stakes.
That's the good thing about the Karate Kid world, because there's so many characters to build on. It really can't really stop after 3 or 4 seasons. So there's so many characters that the creators can build on.
Right, like we haven't even got into next Karate Kid. We've just barely, got this hype now that Karate Kid 3 characters are coming back. So Terry, maybe Jessica. Don't know about Mike Barnes is definitely gonna happen because he was a very good character. But then what about next Karate Kid? Like Julie could be a great character to continue that story for Daniel, and learn more about Miyagi and things we didn't know. Because there's another thing. You remember the wheel technique? If Daniel didn't learn it with Miyagi, who did he learn it with? It's little things like that. I want to know things they haven't answered yet, and clearly the writers are setting up for a lot more. But yeah, man, I love what they're doing. The season 4, it's going to be the most tense yet, I feel, especially Terry coming back.
It's definitely Terry that's on the phone. I don't know who else could be on the phone.
I think Mike is. I feel like Shawn Cannon. He's so happy when he hears someone mention Cobra Kai, because it's like he knows he's going to be back, but he can't say it. And I've seen so many interviews with him and all this, and he can't obviously give you a direct answer, but he's back 100%. Terry,
but I think you remember episode 1, season 1, where Johnny got fired from his job. I've heard like theories on YouTube where it was like
Mike Barnes.
Yeah, because his boss's name was Mike. So with that's like a connection. With they were setting us up like the first episode of season 1, that would be crazy.
Dude, that would be crazy indeed. I mean, I don't think anyone would have been expecting that unless obviously they rewatch the series and then they go, "Oh, damn, okay." But why I believe that theory in a lot of ways is because the spelling of his name as well was the same. I mean, I guess there's no other way of spelling Mike in another way, but I mean, they're definitely teasing Mike Barnes, I think, and they did tease him a little bit in that flashback. When Daniel was talking to Sam about when he was gonna lose to Fear, and then Miyagi motivates him. He wins the tournament. So yeah, I think to sort of complement that reference, they have to bring Barnes back. I mean, how they do that, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I do feel like he could be a businessman because he was very business oriented when he wanted 50% of whatever the dojos were had or whatever. But yeah, he's an interesting character. Yeah, I just can't wait to see him, and I hope I answered your question well enough.
That was great.
Thanks for being a part of this and just generally supporting the channel and everything. Means a lot.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I have to kick you off. I'm sorry because I've got to answer some other questions. But thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it, and that was a good question.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Shawn Swabby.
Oh,
Shawn Swabby, what's up?
Nothing.
How we doing?
It's good to see you on this.
You too, my friend.
First time, but I got a 2-part question.
Okay.
Do you think Kreese knows Colonel Dugan?
You know, if he knows Dugan, it will be interesting because they have that sort of connection with, you know, Dugan's like, I can't remember the name of the group, but you know, like, you know, Ned Randall and all those guys. It's almost like they're soldiers, right? I won't be surprised if Dugan was someone he heard in the army, or they somehow know each other. But you know, see, it'd be hard to. I don't know how they would. It'd obviously be something within the army. I don't know if they know each other though. I mean, I haven't got a clear answer, but I feel like that's something they could play with in the future for sure. You know, Ned Randall as well. I hope we see him. I mean, Julie must know who Daniel LaRusso is because Miyagi told Julie about having
Obviously, Leon.
another student but for her. So in that sense, I could see Kreese knowing Dugan, but it might be a bit too cliche. Like, oh, guys from Karate Kid 4 will know the guys from the other Karate Kid films, you know. But I have faith in the writers if they bring that up. Dugan's interesting. Him and Ned was Ned was like a side villain, and Dugan was like, I don't know, it's difficult with him. I liked him, but he wasn't like, you know, cunning and so as interesting as like Kreese and Terry Silver, obviously. So maybe they meet each other for the first time. I don't know, at some
Oh,
point.
no, I was thinking that maybe they would have ran across each other in Vietnam.
Possible. I mean, I don't know how old Dugan is, but if they must be similar in age now. So if they are, it's bound to be someone. You know, it's got to be something like that. But that's a good question because I mean, no one's really. There's a connection with the way they're very similar. You know, that I mean, Dugan's not Cobra Kai, but he's got that, you know, like soldier mentality. So, you know, him and Kreese would probably get on. Ned would fit in Cobra Kai as well. Sorry, what do you say there? Your mic was going a bit funny then. You still there? You still there, Shawn? If he's not there, sorry, I'm gonna have to remove you if you're not there. Hold up a second. Okay, I don't know what happened there. John. Oh, we got another person. Jannar?
Hey
Is that
man,
you, sir?
what's up?
What's up? How's it going?
It's good, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. What's your question?
My question for you is, will there be a fight of Johnny and Daniel again?
See, I don't think they will. I know they just teamed up in the ending of season 3, but if they have more fights, I don't think that team up will last long. Maybe further down the line, something happens and they end up sort of hating each other again. I won't rule it out because it could be. Maybe something in the last season we might see them fight. But I think going forward, they're going to have to put their beef away because what's the point of them fighting again if they're going to team up and everything, you know? Like, there's got to be a consequence with them becoming, you know, like friends. They have a lot of similarities. Ali made that clear in the finale that, you know, these guys hated on each other because they were very similar and they just couldn't accept that. Yeah, I think we'll see if they fight again. Do you mean, but if it's not like a physical fight, I can't imagine them just, you know, taking the mick, maybe having a fight just to see who would actually win. Because remember Johnny when he was drunk, this was like before the season 1 finale. Johnny says we need to have a fight, and you know, just something fun for the old time's sake. Daniel's like, okay, we will. They never really had a fight apart from the season 2 finale, when Daniel goes to pick up Sam. But I mean, they've had enough beef and over 30 years. Like, they knew the events of that school fight was because of their history. if they fight again, I feel it'll just kind of contradict all the things they've been saying in season 3 with them teaming up, you know, and the impact will lessen. It's almost like bringing back Tony Stark from the dead when clearly he did that sacrifice knowing something's going to happen to him and everything. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks, man. And another
Yeah,
question is, can I
yeah,
ask another question?
yeah, sure. If it's a quick one,
What do you think about the name of the new dojo?
Eagle Fan Karate.
And what about Miyagi-Do?
I mean, I like the names. I think Eagle Fan Karate. At first, they hit me like, wait, Eagle Fan Karate, but then I start putting 2 and 2 together and thinking, that's so Johnny. And something none of us actually, I don't think anyone's actually said this. Maybe someone has, but Johnny watched Iron Eagle in the first film. I mean, the first series, and I think that might have been the inspiration as to why he called it Eagle Fang, because Eagle being, you know, the film Iron Eagle, and he loves that film. He watched it twice from what I'd seen in throughout Cobra Kai, so he got inspiration from that. Miyagi-Do is Miyagi-Do. Like, you can't hate him. Miyagi
Yeah,
is
thanks.
legendary, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the names. Cobra Kai as well. Like, they're all cool. Even the other dojos in the valley, Topanga's like quite an interesting name. But no, yeah. Do you what dojo name do you like the most, or do you like Eagle Fang?
Yeah, I guess Eagle Fang is the best.
Well, I'm hoping to see like a merge with their names. I'd like to see what they come up with Miyagi-Do and, you know, Johnny's Karate, because we still need a clear-cut name. They were trying to figure that out when Eagle Fang students and Miyagi-Do students were coming together for that team up. So, you know, Dimitri says, you know, we're conflicted on, you know, the gis, the colors, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but John, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thanks to you,
supporting the
man.
channel as well, man. Pleasure to have you on, and I gotta kick you out because I gotta add someone else for a question.
All right.
All right, thanks for joining,
Bye.
man. Okay. NFL.
Hey man,
Hey, what's up? How we doing?
I'm good. So I had this quick question. Is Robbie gonna visit Chosen in Okinawa?
Wait, you think Robbie's gonna see Chosen in Okinawa?
Yes.
Okay, how would that happen? Because they didn't even know each other. Plus,
So there has to be a reason. Maybe he'll redeem himself like that way. Or somehow. Maybe Chosen's gonna teach him some tricks.
I don't know, man. I like it's interesting. It's something we've never heard before. I'm just imagining that scenario. Robbie just goes and sees him. Like, nah, I don't know how that happened. Like, how would they? How would Robbie know that? And he hates Daniel so much. Like, would he really go and see Chosen, knowing what he did? Unless Chosen came to the valley and saw Robbie, you know. I don't know, man. I don't think I can see that happening.
Because
And
he did see the book, so basically that could happen.
if they get to Okinawa again, like, what would be the purpose? I mean, I think the only reason they'd go back is something for Chosen, but Chosen would probably come to Valley because I want to see him in the Valley. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, same.
But I don't know. Robbie's going full Cobra Kai, so I don't think he would go to Okinawa personally. Unless you're saying further down the line, he might.
Maybe.
I hope that answers your question, man. Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't imagine it though, because I mean, Robbie. I don't think Daniel even told him about Chosen, all that, because I don't think he would. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, thank you for joining, man. I got to answer some other questions, so I have to kick you out. But I appreciate you supporting and everything. It really means a lot.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Okay. Who else we got here? All right, guys. If you've rejoined, and I've already answered a question, I'll have to kick you out just so other people, we can make space for them. Okay, we got Steven here. What's up, my man?
Hi, I'm a.
Sorry, I can't hear you, buddy.
Could you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
You want to know something? I'm a huge fan of you.
Oh, thank you, man. I
I love
appreciate
your
that.
videos. I'm a subscriber. I love all your videos. Sometimes I don't get to watch them because I'm in school. I do schoolwork, so I have to catch up on a lot of that.
Of course,
My
man. I appreciate you
so,
checking me out when you get the chance, and it really means a lot that you're a subscriber and then you support. It really,
so
it really impacts me in a good way. Yeah. So, what's your question?
what do you think? So if Terry Silver comes back, what do you think would happen? Do you think like Terry Silver would try to kill Daniel and Johnny like Kreese did?
See, the thing is, Kreese tried to kill them, but you know,
Yeah.
with what Kreese has learned is, with the team up of Daniel and Johnny, he can't do this alone. He couldn't even kill them. Like, he was close, but he didn't get the chance because Daniel saved Johnny, and Johnny basically nearly killed Kreese on his own. It's just that Robby came in, right?
Yeah, you know what I wonder?
What's that?
Oh, sorry. You know what I wonder? How would Robby, if Robby redeems himself and coming, rejoining Miyagi-Do, how would he and Miguel react together? Because they're rivals.
I think I honestly think at some point that Miguel and Robby will definitely have a moment of clarity where they put their beef aside and they just become friends. You know, if Carmen and Johnny get married, imagine, you know, they're technically going to be brothers, Miguel and Robby. Imagine that, you know?
Yeah.
It would be pretty mad if that happened. So,
you know what would be probably way more beef if Tory joined Miyagi-Do.
See, if that happens, like, I feel like Tori's so full on Cobra Kai. I can't imagine her embracing Miyagi-Do unless she realizes that Cobra Kai is actually not good for her, but she likes taking out her anger in that way. She's found a way to deal with her personal problems, and Cobra Kai karate has taught her to show no mercy because life doesn't, and she really relates to it.
I have one big question for you. You know how you got an interview with like the actors of Cobra Kai? How do I get like interviews with them?
I would say you got to really establish yourself. So you know, you've got to you obviously get in contact. You got to establish yourself, and yeah, man. All I'm gonna say is you got to establish yourself. You know, put yourself out there, show them that you really are something, because they really want to. I mean, the cast are great though. They'll give anyone a chance to interview. They're cool like that. So get in contact with them. You know, search them up, look ways to look up their contacts, if you can. And yeah, I mean that's all the advice I could say. Really,
age you have to be?
Not necessarily. It just depends, man. It really depends on the person.
So, cause I've been trying to figure it out. I asked Cobra Kai Kid, he didn't respond. I asked, cause I don't think you know the what's that channel called, the one, you know you know that bonsai Kai Dojo, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, but he has no idea. So only one I figured would be Cobra Kai Kid or you, because you guys were able to interview. Like, have you?
Sorry, Steven. Do you have any? Do you have any other questions, or is that it?
Oh, that was it. I don't know how to. If you want,
that's right, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. That means a lot. I got to kick you out. I got to add some more people to this so they can answer questions. Thanks for supporting, though, man, and take care.
You too.
Okay. More people want to join. how do we add this? Okay, well, I think I can pin it possibly. If you want to join, I'll send you the link. It's a 10-person limit, so first come, first serve. You got to join as quick as you can. Blah 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 blah. I can't pin it. Okay. Okay, who else have we got? Oh, what's up? It's Shamir. Was it
Hi,
Shamir?
Shamir.
What's up, man? Are you all good now?
It's
I remember the sound was going a little bit.
it's nice to see you the second time. I got a question. Do you think, like, at the tournament, like, before the tournament, Terry Silver arrives, and at the tournament, like, a fight breaks out? Like, a fight will break out, and then Terry Silver's just like, I think it's time to, like, share the moment, like, when I owe him, like, from that scene where he was fighting their sensei, and he kicks him in the sand, opens the gate, and Terry just says, "I owe you, like, my life." I think it's like that time to, like, he says.
Well, remember, you remember in Cry Kid 3 when Terry was like sending Kreese to, I think it's where did he send him? He sent him like on a holiday. He said, you know, relax, I've got this Cobra Kai thing. I'm gonna ruin Daniel. Kreese is a crazy guy, as we know, but Terry's more crazy, and I think he could stir, or he could easily like fix the matches at the tournament. He's got the money, he's got the brain. He's obviously a very crazy, insane, psychotic individual.
Well,
but I love that about his character because he's something that isn't like Kreese. He's a little bit different. And yeah, that tease at the end where he says, "I owe you my life." You know, Terry's probably going to. I mean, he's still. Although we saw him trying to pay him back in Cry Kid 3, I still think he still owes it to Kreese. So he's going to help Kreese no matter what, and no matter what the situation is or whenever, he'll never forget that Kreese saved him in Vietnam, and Kreese saved him multiple times. That's what Terry told him in the car when they're at the airport. So I think Terry's going to come in before the tournament because I don't think you should have such a. I don't think they're going to introduce such a big character later. You know, I think Terry he really complements the villainous side to Cobra Kai, as in Kreese being there. So I think we need someone that can sort of take the mantle of the main antagonist, and be the main villain for the next few seasons. Because Kreese is like, we know Kreese is back. He's had his stuff, but he needs a bit of support as well. And I think Terry could be that main villain in a way. And he's got the money. Remember, he opened he gave the keys to Kreese for the first ever, Cobra Kai dojo. So imagine what Terry will do when he's back.
All right. My second question is like, hold up, let me think. Who would win, Chosen versus Kreese and Terry Silver, like, fighting together? I mean, like, Chosen has like that stale, like, numb arm technique.
See, okay, are you talking about the Chosen in Cobra Kai season 3, or the Chosen from Cry Kid 2? And which versions of Terry and Kreese are you
Cobra
talking
Kai
about?
season 3. I'm talking about, like, the Terry Silver from, like, back to, like, Karate Kid.
Okay, well, that Terry's gonna be younger, and also obviously Kreese is older, but 2 against 1, especially those guys, they'll beat Chosen. Chosen, if he can beat one of them on his own, then he's definitely gonna win. But 2-on-1, it really depends on the situation and the scenario. But we really don't know Chosen's full capabilities. Like, look how easy it was for him to beat Daniel. So imagine if he fights. It's a good theory, because imagine him fighting those guys, because he's actually going to fight them to the death. He kind of did with Daniel, but he was teaching Daniel afterwards. I think Chosen might unlock things even more deadlier in the fight with Terry and Kreese. And if he knows what they're like and he's got enough backstory, then yeah. Because remember, Daniel, he beat Kreese with one of the things Chosen taught him. I know that's what Miyagi taught him. However, Chosen taught him that. So if Daniel could beat Kreese like that, imagine what Chosen would do to Kreese on his own. But obviously with Terry, and when he was younger, he was ruthless. I'm not saying he wouldn't be when he's older. Obviously, it's going to be harder for him to fight. I think it really depends on the situation as well. If it's Cobra Kai Dojo, it's going to be very unfamiliar territory for Chosen. If he's like in Okinawa, maybe the situation's a bit different. It could be the slightest thing that impacts the fight. But if we're just talking on a standstill, them fighting, I still think Kreese and Terry will win, but I think it will just about. But it's hard to come to a decision because Miyagi beat Terry and Kreese on his own. But they were coming at him one by one. With that logic, I think Chosen would win. But if it's them coming at Chosen at the same time, I think Chosen would probably lose. So yeah, man, I hope that answers your question. I like that idea that you were saying. I'm gonna kick you out now, just because obviously people will want to be asking questions too. So thank you for joining. Who else we got? Who hasn't been in here? Okay. Cobra Kai. Who's this? What's up?
Hi, do you think Cobra Kai is going to have a plan?
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Do you think Cobra Kai is going to have a plan?
A plan?
Yeah.
You mean for the tournament?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think the first step of that plan is Kreese bringing back Terry Silver. I mean, that would, if he can teach these students with him as well. I mean, imagine how ruthless they could be. And he can't handle the tournament on his own. But I personally think he needs Silver to get back into the tournament. Because remember, Kreese was banned from the tournament, along with Terry and Mike. But maybe Terry could find a way of getting them unbanned. And I know Johnny unbanned Cobra Kai, but I think Kreese has a plan to do that. And I think he needs to get his best friend back, or his old pal. So yeah, I think there is a plan. We obviously don't know the exact plan, but if you're talking about the tournament itself, yeah, I think there's Kreese is wanting to get Terry back. So then, they could do more than just what they're doing at the tournament. They could try and terrorize Daniel and Johnny, and they're very strong together. So Kreese needs an ally. He needs a backup. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for chipping in and asking a question. Appreciate you supporting and everything. I'm gonna kick you out because I gotta add someone else.
Okay.
Thanks for joining. Cobra Kid, who's this? Cobra Kid, what's up?
Oh, what's up, man?
How we doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm very good. Thanks for asking. What's your question?
My question is, do you think Carmen and if Carmen and Johnny get married, do you think, because then Miguel and Robbie would be stepbrothers, do you think it will
Just
help the
quickly turn the light
relationship?
on. So I actually answered someone's question about this earlier on. I think, they will become stepbrothers, which would be funny in the sense like they hate each other, or Robbie I think he hates Miguel more than Miguel hates him. But if they become brothers, like Johnny can focus on them together, because like he kind of treats Miguel like a son anyway, but it'll be official. And then he will think he's got Robbie's got more family. He's got Carmen as like another mother. He's got a brother now, and like he's got more support. But I think I'd probably annoy Robbie more because he's like, you don't really care about me anyway. Like, This is just you rubbing salt into the wounds. But I want to see that happen because you probably noticed that, you know, Miguel and Robbie have never had like a chance to really talk things out or even, you know, talk about their sides to things. Just like Johnny and Daniel, look at how a clear miscommunication has caused so much stuff to happen with Johnny and
Yeah,
Daniel.
and the like every time Robbie and Johnny things are going well, Miguel is always in the way of that, and it prevents them from having a
You
good
know,
relationship.
it's not just Miguel. You know, the kids collectively, they're students. Like in season 2, you remember Johnny, Carmen, Amanda, and Daniel. They've gone to that salsa restaurant, and obviously they
Yeah.
don't realize they're both there. And they have a few drinks. They actually start making jokes, and you know, it's quite an awesome moment because they're so similar. And there's a few moments in season 2 where they understand each other a little bit more. Now, with that being said, I would love to see Robbie and Miguel have a moment where they just finally realize things were never communicated clearly. Because there's still things that they have not even said to each other. Like Robbie hasn't confronted Miguel with him being with Johnny the time you saw him hug him when he gives him the gi. And then when Miguel saw Sam with Robbie, he never spoke to Robbie about that. I mean, they were talking to each other at the school when they were fighting, you know, just there and then. They didn't have a chance to sit down and talk like on the normal level. It was extreme. So them, you know, becoming brothers would be something in the future. I would like to see that because it might give, you know, Miguel would be a good brother for sure, and I think Carmen would treat him better than even Shannon, his own mother, did because she was kind of neglecting him, you know.
Yeah, but I also everything Robbie and Miguel are fighting for everything. Sam and John, not everything, but everything to them. Sam and Johnny, and I think that's gonna get in the way of them.
Sam and Johnny is see, the thing is with the kids, the something I actually forgot to mention. You know the rivalry between Johnny and Daniel. Even when they're getting on, their students were still fighting, but that's because they're obviously younger. They're not mature adults. They don't think like that. They're thinking more of like, we've got a side that's right, and then we've got an opposing side. These guys are doing it wrong. And then Cobra Kai students think the same about Miyagi-Do. Because of the clear difference and the beef between Daniel and Johnny, the kids think it's, oh, we should hate each other. But sometimes it's not that simple. They obviously show you how complex it is. Like, Sam starts hating Cobra Kai because she sees Miguel changing. And you remember Miguel accidentally hits her, and then Robbie's there. It's like the kids keep fighting. And remember, Johnny and Daniel, they had a drink together, they were getting on. And then Daniel says, oh, this is a new student. This is a student that I have, Robbie. And Johnny goes, that's my son. Like, what are you doing? Like, that got in the way of Johnny and Daniel's like friendship. So I feel like that'll be a running theme even in the next few seasons. But at some point, they're gonna, they're gonna make it so the characters, the youngsters, realize that they were kind of continuing the problem. But we'll see how they do it. I have faith in the writers. I just can't wait to see it. And yeah, I hope that answers your question, man.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Who else we got? Okay, we got a few more people. I'm gonna try and get this to 2 hours, and then I'll end the stream. It's been on it for a while. Merchester, what's up, my man?
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks.
Good. What's your question?
If you could see any matchup in the tournament, who would you match up?
I like this. Good question, man. I would. Well, I have to consider the ages, so I can't obviously put anyone random or. Yeah, I'd like to see. I mean, there's some generic ones, but Miguel and Robbie now. I'd like to see how they would fight each other.
Yeah.
I do think that will happen. I think one fight that no one might expect is Aisha with maybe Tory or Sam, because I don't know if Aisha is going to be at the tournament, but I think she could be back in season 4.
Yeah.
That's a hard question, man. That's actually difficult because there's so many. Like, Sam and Tori I want to see, Miguel and Robbie, Hawk and Kyler. Okay, one I was thinking is maybe Brooks. Maybe Brooks, he comes he wants to join the dojo and he wants to fight the tournament. Maybe he wants to fight Hawk, but I don't know how old. I think Brooks and Kyler are the same age as Hawk because they're in the same year.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see him come back. That's a good question, man. I would probably go with just we haven't seen Sam and Tori at the tournament. So I'd like to see that, but
Yeah.
Miguel and Robbie, man, I can't wait to see that.
If it was Miguel and Robbie, because in the first tournament, Miguel he took Robbie's injured part deliberately. Do you think Robbie will be a bit more aggressive?
I said this to someone as well. I think he will. Now, think about all the things that Miguel has sort of done to Robbie without intentionally being an ass or trying to get in Robbie's way. Like, him being the student to Johnny and they're having a good relationship. That gets in the way of Johnny's relationship with Robbie. And Johnny doesn't really see it in that way, but Robbie's like, you're always focusing on him. I think all the anger that he's had and that he took out Miguel will mean something more. Like, he'll be like, this guy is ruining my life. He's ruined my relationship with my father. He took Sam again from me, and I love Sam. He's made his life a little bit worse. And then, obviously the fact that he kicked him off the thing, although that was Robbie's fault. Like, he went to juvie, got beaten up. It's all because of Miguel, like the whole thing. And Miguel kind of, to him, might have started the fight for him. I think Robbie's gonna just be so ruthless to Miguel in the tournament. He'll probably hit him where he got injured, like maybe elbow him or do a dirty move. Maybe Kreese does the whole sweep the leg thing, or say put him out of commission.
Yeah.
How he did he said to Bobby in Karate Kid 1 and even to Johnny. So yeah, man, I think he's gonna be a Cobra Kai, He's not gonna be nice Robbie from Miyagi-Do that changed. He's gonna be Robbie from Cobra Kai, and Miguel's gonna be probably a little bit nicer. I think he'll be back to himself by the tournament. There's a long time for that, for the episodes to run and him to get back to where he is. But we'll see. We'll see how that fight goes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
Okay. Who else we got? Commander Cody Productions. What's up,
Hey, what's
man?
up, man?
How's it going?
I'm pretty good. You?
Very good, thanks. Thank you for joining. What's your question?
I'm just wondering, how do you think Terry Silver will be reintroduced into Cobra Kai?
Okay, so I think Terry Silver is going to come in a very, very badass way. Okay, maybe not if he's not entering the dojo just like he did with, with Kreese at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
I think he might even walk into the Daniel's dealership. And I have a theory that he knows Tom Cole, or he might work with Tom Cole to not only ruin Daniel, but he will learn this from Kreese. I think he'll enter the dojo first. I don't know exactly how they're gonna. All I know is they're gonna do it in a badass way.
Do you think he still lives in the neighborhood where they all live?
In the valley. If he was in the valley, surely Kreese would have called him at some point,
Yeah.
during season 3.
Absolutely.
Unless they explain that and Kreese goes, yeah, I thought I had this, but I clearly need your help. And we might learn a little bit more. There's a lot of theories out there that people believe that Terry's actually been behind the scenes, helping Kreese when he needs him. Because there's a few moments in Cobra Kai, and I'm thinking, how did Kreese do that? I know he was a soldier, he did covert op, he's obviously learned a lot.
Yeah.
But like, how did he do certain things? Like they explained when he found Tori and where she lived, said he found it in the paperwork. He visits Robby at the juvenile detention, but how did he know about him being at that juvenile detention? Unless that was like the only one they had.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just to answer your question, with Terry, I think it'll just be something badass. Maybe like an awesome quote and they end the episode like they did with Kreese. I do think he's gonna go to the dealership as well. So either he enters the dojo first and then he goes dealership, or other way around. But it would make more sense for him to be introduced in the dojo like that. I agree with you, man. I think it will be that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see how it happens.
But anyways, I guess that's all I can ask. So see ya.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining, and take care.
You too.
Okay. We got another person. Beyblade boy, what is good?
Hi.
How's it going, man?
Good.
What
I
question
got
you
one
got?
question for you today.
Yep. Go for it.
Who would win in a fight? Young Daniel and Johnny, or Hawk and Miguel?
Young Daniel and Johnny on Hawk and Miguel. Okay. Which Hawk and Miguel are we talking? Which season?
Season 3, where they're like way past their league at like season 2 and 1.
So the thing is, Miguel is not going to be at the best version because obviously he had his injury. He is sort of himself in the finale, but he's not at his best yet. So young Johnny and Daniel will be, he's going to struggle against them. What's his name? Hawk will be a good challenge. I think it will be close. But because of Miguel being like, not his best, he's going to easily lose. And then Hawk's going to have the pressure of Johnny and Daniel. So, young Johnny, he's the best. He's the champion. He's the best student in Cobra Kai at the time. And then young Daniel was learning a lot from Miyagi. And obviously he's not as experienced as Daniel now, but he learned a lot from Miyagi at the time. So young Daniel and Johnny definitely beating them, man. 100%. But I like that idea.
One more thing. If you would sub to my channel, I have no subscribers.
What kind of channel do you do, man?
Yeah, I'm about to make Cobra Kai theories because you inspired me to make it.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, man.
You mean a
is that
lot.
all the questions you got? Or do you have any more
What
questions?
you said? What did you say?
Do you have any more questions?
Oh, no, thank
Cobra
you.
Kai questions?
No. Oh, one last one. In season 4, will Hawk turn back on them?
Sorry, what's that?
Will Hawk turn back on, like, go back to
I don't know,
Cobra
man.
Kai?
I think he's just turned to that side. I mean, he realizes that he doesn't want to be an asshole. He wants to be friends with Dimitri. Johnny made him who he was. I don't think he's going to go back all of a sudden because he realizes Kreese is actually, he's actually the problem. I think that's what he's realized. He could, but I don't think it's going to happen that quickly. And he just turned to their side. So I don't know. If that happens, that means Robby is going to turn back as well because I can't imagine Hawk just doing that. And then they just go, oh, he was it's really changing the show's dynamic if they do this whole betrayal thing. I like the idea, but I don't think it would really work nicely, I hope that answered your questions, though, man. Thank you for joining the stream. I got to kick you out because I got to answer some other questions.
That's all questions.
Thank you, man. Who else we got? Okay, I've ran the clock, guys. If one or two more people want to join, I don't mind answering a few more questions. What I'll do is I'll put in the link again for the last time. So it's last chance for you guys to answer, get any questions answered that you want and to be in the stream. I think we have one or two people. So I think Fritz, what's good? What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. So what's your question?
So, I was just wondering, do you think it's possible that Tory and Robbie could see some sort of redemption? Because they've kind of gone like really far into Cobra Kai. They're like sort of showing no mercy and all that. And we saw Hawk sort of come back to. So he went to Miyagi-Do, like he kind of came around. Do you think it's possible that could happen to Tory and people at Cobra Kai?
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Think about it. Like Tori she's look how crazy she was. She went to the Russos. She wanted to.
Yeah.
She ended up end this tonight. Like you can see, she's had
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
Robbie's got to the point where look, he's turned to Cobra Kai. Like you can clearly see that he's had enough too. I think
Yeah.
these two, they're going to be bad for each other because they'll
Yeah.
more so Tori's going to get into his head and make
Mhm.
Robbie worse, and I think then Tori's going to really believe what she's doing is right. So in a way, if they win the next tournament, it's sort of redemption, like that they're on top. But
Yeah.
I think with Tori, it runs deep. Like she wants to really hurt Sam.
Yeah.
That's what we saw, with that nightmare Sam had.
Yeah.
Like if that was never the case, then that'd be interesting because people think that Tori and Sam are going to be friends at some point. I mean, with the way everyone sort of runs with their history in Karate Kid and stuff, like some people will eventually understand each other. Like if Johnny and Daniel can do it, any character in the series can. Maybe if you're Kreese or Terry, it might not happen. But then again, look what happened with Chosen and Daniel. Like that was crazy. I don't think anyone would have expected that in watching Karate Kid 2. That Daniel's going to forgive him, Chosen's going to forget that. I mean, obviously, no one knew that Cobra Kai series is going to happen, but
Yeah.
I think they will have a redemption, to answer your question.
Okay. Right. Thanks.
That will happen through Kreese, and then the tournament. It will come full circle and really adds more depth to Kreese's Cobra Kai once again, because we saw his Cobra Kai in '84, but we haven't seen his version of Cobra Kai now at the tournament. So that's a nice little refresher to see him back at the tournament with his version of the dojo. So yeah, man, I hope that answered your question, and thanks for coming on and answering that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
No worries. Okay, guys, I think that's it for questions. No one else is joining the studio. Oh yeah, you're welcome, man. I mean, that's what I'm here for, answering questions, that kind of stuff. I think Color is gone. The viewers that are still here, man, you guys are the best. Like, to stay the whole thing or to stay here is just amazing. I love you guys. Mustang, everyone. I've seen you all. Shamir, Moon Rice. Does Cobra Kai Nation make these? Wait, make what? I do not understand. Okay, we got a guest. Javin. You there, buddy?
Hi.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Next time I'm gonna get my stuff and put it right in my mouth.
How's it going,
Hello.
man?
Good. How are
What's
you?
your question? I'm very good.
So you know how Tori had been doing bad things? Like I would say Tori had done 4 bad things. If she was to join Daniel and Johnny's dojo, what do you think if Amanda and Daniel would react?
Sorry, can you say that again? I kind of missed the question.
Like, if do you think like Amanda and Daniel would forgive Tori? Because like even Amanda in the first episode of season 3, she was really mad at Tori. She was calling her cuss words and stuff. And then like Daniel was mad at Tori too. Daniel wanted to
That's gonna be
report
difficult,
Tori.
you know. To answer your question,
Yeah.
I think Amanda and Daniel, obviously mature adults, they're gonna have to, you know, for the sake of, you know, to move on, they would have to forgive her. But I think for Amanda it would be harder because obviously she's thinking all the trauma she's put Sam through and cut her and everything. I think that we will see a point where Tori sort of maybe apologizes to them. If they understand her life story, then they might understand why she's so angry. Because imagine if, you know, the money Daniel and Amanda have, imagine if they helped Tori with her situation. Tori might actually see them as good people. She doesn't know anything about Sam's family. She just knows about, you know, the dojo. She doesn't like Sam. She doesn't like anyone that associates with Sam. So that's why I made her really angry that Miguel went back to her, because when Kreese says, "Oh, you didn't hear that Sam and Miguel were forcing, you know, come back together," and then Tori like obviously goes to the Russos with the others, the students. I think they will, because remember, it's like with Hawk. Hawk's now joined. You know, he's betrayed Cobra Kai. He's joined Miyagi-Do technically with Eagle Fang, where it's probably Johnny's dojo he's joined. And he hasn't told Daniel about the whole Medal of Valor situation. So I don't know if Daniel knows who was behind that. He knows there was a few Cobra Kais, but he doesn't know exactly who. And I'm curious if, you know, Daniel is going to find out if Hawk was part of that. It'll be interesting how that works, you know. So to answer your question, I think Tori might be forgiven, but I don't know how if she'll forgive them. But I feel like they will do something to, you know, to make her realize they're good people. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, man.
Yeah, it does. I think Dimitri would be more like what is that word? Like more mean to Tori because Tori was in the background telling Hawk to break Dimitri's arm and then called him
Yeah,
the
she did
P word
actually.
at the end.
And I think Dimitri's forgiven him, you know. And what was interesting is, you know, when she said to Hawk, "You better watch your back," or whatever, like something like that. Dimitri goes, "Oh, he won't have to because there'll be people there looking out for him." Like, you know, Dimitri basically saying, "I'll be there." Like that in itself, you know, proves that Dimitri's going to be there for Hawk if he ever gets jumped. And I think he will get jumped by some of the Cobra Kai students, but I think he's going to be saved by like Dimitri or, you know, some of the other guys are going to help him. But anyway, yeah. But I hope that answers your question, man.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks for joining the stream and everything.
Thank you for
Have a
having
good
me.
evening. Hope you're enjoying the content as well, man.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very entertaining, especially the theories. I really love the theory.
A lot of people want me to do more theories, so I'm definitely. I've been working on quite a few. Obviously, you don't want to just throw them all out there. It's just want to like,
Yeah.
you know, people really. I don't. I want everyone to see the theory that I post. I don't want to just spam it. Obviously, so yeah, loads more of that come in, so you'll be excited for that. Yeah, man. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. It means a lot, and thanks for coming on.
And also, you know how you said Hawk versus Kyler? You said Hawk would win. But I got a theory that if like Hawk joins Daniel's and Johnny's dojo, like I think he would be more soft because I think he regrets beating up Brooks. Like I think Kyler would be mad and like I think honestly I think
Yeah,
Kyler would
I
win.
did say this. I did say this to someone that it's possible that what will happen is Hawk could fight him, but Kyler's going to be very angry knowing that he beat the hell out of Brooks. And I think Kyler's gonna maybe, if what you're saying is true, and it's possible, 100% possible. So if it plays out like with the way you're saying, I think what will happen is Hawk gets jumped prior to the tournament, like, you know, and that really affects him, and then he faces Kyler. But then again, the thing is, the writers wouldn't put that out there for him to now become weak. Like, he's become strong. And I get what you're saying. If he learns a new style and Cobra Kai made him who he is, then he might change and become soft. But I think the only reason he would lose to Kyler is if he basically gets jumped by Kyler and Kyler has a lot of confidence against him. But something has to happen in order for that to happen, you know? But for Hawk is a badass, and I mean, it could be that he could get. I mean, if Hawk gets injured, that'd be interesting because he injured Robbie. But what if he
I
got
think
injured?
Kyler would injured Hawk because, like, there's only two things if Kyler would do. He will probably pound the snot out of Hawk, like what he did to Brooks and like for Brooks, and then if not, you know how they said that better watch your back. I think they will like injure him. Like I
They're
think,
gonna. I think they will jump him. Like,
yeah,
cause he's kind of portrayed Cobra Kai, right?
yeah, and they will like Kyler would like cut his arm or something. Like I don't think the face because like Kyler like would kind of like be in jail if he does that. And Kyler, I think his life is more difficult in his home life. Like his dad, you know how
Yeah.
you said that in the zoo?
He said that the thing about if he fails trig this semester, his dad's gonna, you know, poo in his mouth. That's funny. But he said his parents were from Irvin to Daniel in season 1. We don't know a lot about his family, and I think we might get a little backstory in how he became like a bully. Because no one is truly a bully at first. They have a hard life or something like
Yeah,
Daniel.
like Tory.
And yeah, look at Johnny. You know, that backstory is very important.
Yeah.
No one is born bad, you know. There's a reason why people become a certain way. And I like how they show that, you know, Tori seems all bad, but look at her life. Like, it's horrible for her age. So I'm
Her
not
mom is
surprised to hear
sick.
that.
She doesn't even have enough money to pay the bills, and she
Yeah,
has
man.
to
Like, you remember
take
how
care of her
the
daughter.
landlord got all funny with her and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, man, it's crazy. Look, man, I appreciate you answering that question. I got to kick you out though, just cause someone else wants to ask one. But thank you so much for coming on and answering me that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
Ice Cold. Okay. Ice Cold, what's up? Okay, Ice Cold. Did Ice Cold just leave? Seems like it. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it, guys. No one else has joined. I pretty much answered so many questions. My throat's so sore. I've been on there for long. So, guys, thank you for joining the stream tonight. I will update you about the interview and what's going on with that. I do have an interview coming up, though. Another one that was scheduled for the 28th. And it is someone from one of the flashback scenes from season 3. And I'm going to do an announcement video on that. But you guys have a little hint. It's somebody from one of the flashback scenes in season 3. So who could that be? Think about it. So, guys, thank you for watching. CKN is signing out. I'm very tired. I need a drink. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys next time.